everybody. I hope you all can hear me. Oh, I'm having a little bit of mic issue, but here we go. I know I said that I was going to vlog every Sunday, and maybe I will. Maybe I'll be consistent someday, but I wasn't able to go live for the past 2 Sundays because life has been crazy. I told you guys in my last vlog that I didn't want to lie to you, and I wanted to be like really real and like raw about the whole process of going tiny and living in an RV and all of that stuff. I don't want to be like those Instagram influencers who post all of their pretty pictures of like living in a tiny home or an RV when you know darn right well that they have kids and that their house doesn't always look pretty like that. So I'm not ready to do like a walkthrough of my RV yet, but I do want to kind of like talk to everybody and tell you just like how things have been going. As always, if you have any questions for me, just drop them in the chat because I would love to chat with y'all. Facebook user says, hi Facebook user. But welcome to my bedroom. This is where I will be doing live streams from now on. So that's super exciting. So you guys, I moved out of my house. I am renting my house. I remodeled the whole RV with my husband, and we did this all in a span of about 5 or 6 weeks. So it's wild. Like most of the people I see online who remodel RVs and do as much work as we did, they take like a year or like 18 months to do this type of thing. Like it is a really big job. And we did it in like a very small amount of time. And we did pretty much everything. So like my husband bought this RV and I didn't get a chance to look at it. And I feel like I love the man, but sometimes he doesn't really look at stuff. And so we bought an RV with a crap ton of mold, water damage, rotted wood. The whole kitchen had to be rebuilt. Like you name it, like everything that could be wrong with this RV was wrong. And it was a lot of work to fix. And we probably shouldn't have cut ourselves down on so much time. Like we should have taken more than 5 weeks to do it. But realistically, we worked like 12 to 14 hours a day just on the RV. I had some issues with like business and all this stuff, and I was supposed to be able to take off and just focus time on getting into the RV, and I had to work as well. So like I was at my business or I was working in the RV with my husband for pretty much like 3 weeks straight, and my husband did way more work than I did because I'm not handy. Like I said before, like I've never used power tools or anything like that. So like I don't even know how to use a drill or anything, and he like had to teach me literally everything. So what you see here, these are vinyl tiles, and they look so cool. They look like wood. So like I could put tiles up. I put tiles up everywhere. I helped to paint. I slapped the floor tiles down. We got this really cool, like dark vinyl wood, fake wood tiles. And so like, and the space is like really light and airy. It's like everything is painted white as well, which helps because it's very small. Full disclose, people, I live in a 28.5 foot RV with my 4 kids and my husband and my 2 cats. So like it is pretty small in here. It's very small in here. So what we wanted to do was, you know, get low profile window hangings and curtains so that we could have a lot of natural light. And like I said, paint the space white and just really open it all up. And we're doing, I think we did a really good job. Really quick, Pythia says hi. Hi, Pythia. Celeste says hi. Hi. Like I said, drop comments or questions if you've got them for me. But yeah, this has been a really big job. And so we had to do everything. We had to put a new roof on. We had to fix the water damage. We had to repair some of the Phylon. It's like fiberglass. We had to repair some of the siding. We had to rebuild the kitchen. We had to rebuild the cabinets. We had to, you know, drop a new kitchen sink in because the kitchen sink that was in there, it was made of fiberglass and it was old and it just fell apart when we took it out. And then we had to restore all of the wood that was moldy and that was rotted. So it was a really big job. I couldn't have done it without my husband. Like I said, I don't know how to do this stuff. So everything is done now. It is very livable in here. The reason why we got this trailer, aside from the fact that it was pretty cheap, is because it is older. It's a 1998 Hitchhiker by Nuwa, and it's got really good bones. I know a lot of people live in newer RVs and they have trouble with like the slides and like the manual jacks and that kind of stuff. We don't have any trouble with any of the hardware, any of the plumbing. Everything is really great because it's old and it's solid. And I feel like maybe some of the newer products and RVs and things like that that are out, that are made like in the recent years, they're not so sturdy. So it was really a good, just a good experience. My husband is also looking into maybe going to school and getting training to become a mobile RV tech so we could make some more money on the road. So he might get training in 2022 or something like that for that. But I feel really confident in this process of having remodeled this whole RV just like basically ourselves. And I feel like if anything were to break with us being on the road, like we would be able to fix it. And I just want to like caution anybody who like is living vicarious through me and thinking like, maybe I want to get an RV and that kind of thing. Like stuff does break, especially because it's like a tiny house. And with us, it's like very high foot traffic because there's 6 people in here. So stuff is going to break, you know, like fixtures are going to fall off. Stuff's going to get broken. Stuff's going to get bent. So you have to be handy to be able to fix that stuff. And if you're not handy, you should find a partner or a friend who wants to live with you who can be handy and to help you with those kind of things. Because I feel like RV repairs are probably one of the biggest reasons why people fail in this kind of lifestyle. So you should be handy is what I'm trying to say. Nothing went off without a hitch. I was supposed to be in Florida and I'm not in Florida right now. I'm in Arkansas. So what happened with that, right? So we're driving down the road with our 2 cats crawling all over my kids' laps. I know maybe that's bad and unsafe and maybe they should be in a carrier, but I felt like it was mean to like road trip with the cats, and we were supposed to take like an 18-hour road trip or something. I'm like, I'm not going to leave them in there. So they were like cuddling with my kids, like being really sweet and like jumping all around. At one point, one of the little cat, Torby, jumped up like on my husband's shoulders, and she was like a parrot, like he was like a pirate sailing down the highway, driving this big truck and this big RV with this cat on his shoulder, just like, ah. It was wonderful. But anyways, we're driving down the highway and like the car just shuts off, the truck shuts off. And it turns out we're having fuel pump issues, which sucks, you guys, because we just fixed the fuel pump. That was like one of the other major repairs that we had to do. And I don't know anything about fixing cars. I know less about fixing cars than I do about fixing RVs. So there's that. But my husband fixed the fuel pump. He put a new one in there. From what I understand from like the manufacturers and stuff is sometimes those fuel pumps, they're like, I guess, really breakable and fragile, and they can break in shipping. So I think we put a bad fuel pump in, so we had to get that repaired. And so unfortunately, I won't be able to make it to Florida. I just don't have the gas money. All of the money that was supposed to go to gas went to fixing the fuel pump that we already fixed. So the other thing, spiritual people, don't plan trips and stuff during Mercury retrograde. I think this is probably the last time that I ever do that. So whatever, hold my beer. Maybe I'll do it again in the future. But I feel like really with Mercury retrograde, it's a time to like stay put. It's a time to turn inward. It's a time to like chill and like, you know, just chill. Okay. And I was like, no, I'm going to go across country, move out of my house, rent my house out, fix an RV, all during Mercury retrograde. So I don't, I don't even know what to say about that. So yeah, we were able to, thank God, pull into this like RV park that was like really close. We did get the car started again. By the way, you guys, if you're ever on the road and you think you have fuel pump problems, bring a rubber mallet with you, because if you beat the crap out of the gas tank with a rubber mallet, it actually does something to the fuel pump and makes it work. So that's how we got the car started anyways. But yeah, we pulled into this RV park. They had one space available. One space. Like this place was totally packed. And it's like a Providence thing that they actually had space for us. So we just paid for like 3 days here. We were trying to get money figured out and all that kind of stuff so we could get everything repaired with the truck and that kind of thing. And we're just like decided, you know, collectively, we don't have the money to get to Florida. And that was kind of disappointing because I was supposed to meet family that I hadn't seen in a while. But again, it's Mercury retrograde, and maybe I wasn't supposed to meet those people right now. Maybe sometime in the future will be good. So I'm disappointed though. I really did want to meet with my family. So whatever happens, happens. And we stayed put for about 3 days here, and we're like right on the Arkansas River. There's like trees everywhere. This is like the most quiet place I've ever been. It's beautiful. There's like stores right down the road, so we can get to stores easily. So after we stayed the first 3 days, we decided to extend the stay and stay an additional week, and then just kind of figure out what we're doing. And I guess where we're going next, I think we're going somewhere in Arkansas with hot springs. Listen to me, you guys. There is a town in Arkansas called Hot Springs, and they don't have any hot springs. Like, you have to pay to go inside of these bathhouses, and that's fine. I don't mind paying for stuff, but like one of them doesn't allow children, and the other one doesn't have any outdoor like soaking, tubs or anything like that, or pools. I don't know what you call that. So like I got really disappointed because I really wanted to go to the hot springs. I'm thinking like, I'll just go to Hot Spring, Arkansas, because in Arkansas, in a town called Hot Springs, surely they have hot springs, and they don't. So deceptive. So we decided we're going to go somewhere else in Arkansas. I don't know exactly where yet, but we will do it, and we will find hot springs. That is like my goal for like the rest of this month. I am off work until July 2nd or 3rd. So like I don't have to be back in Oklahoma City for some time. So we are just going to chill out in Arkansas and chill. Celeste said that Hot Springs, Arkansas is a tourist city. It's horrible. Celeste, thank you for saying that. I am just not happy that it's called Hot Springs and it's not really. Pythia said, no more Mercury retrograde nonsense. Yeah, no kidding. I'm done with nonsense at this point. Somebody on Facebook said, to be fair, I wanted to leave sooner. Yeah, whoever this Facebook user was, I did want to leave in early May. I was actually already supposed to be in Florida, and stuff just didn't work out. Like I said, I had trouble with my business, and like some people were like unreliable, and it is what it is. It's just what goes along with running a business. And we had to leave later, so is what it is. Tara says that she's excited. Thank you so much, Tara. Let's see. And Darla says that she hurts me and that I'm a rock star. You're the best, Darla. And Darla also says, in Saratoga, Wyoming, there's an awesome hot spring, and it's free and open to everyone. Dude, maybe I should go to Wyoming. I am planning a trip definitely to Utah, for sure. Like I'm going to go to Utah this year, sometime this year, because I have to go see my friend. I love her so much. We're very good friends, and she used to live in Oklahoma, and we used to like hang out all the time, and our kids would play together. And then she like up and left me and moved to Utah. I'm like a little salty, but I get it. So I'm going to go to Utah definitely and visit with her, because there is so many beautiful things out in Utah. There's, the Arches National Park. There's the Great Salt Lake. I was able to go out to Utah, I think maybe 2 or 3 years ago for about a week. And I'm just telling you, it's absolutely breathtaking. I was there, and I was talking to like a bunch of other metaphysical, spiritual people there, and they were all like, everybody came to Utah, like all the Mormons came to Utah because they felt how like spiritual and like how holy and how energetic that place is. And like for real, it is like very powerful energy there in Utah. So if you ever get a chance to go to see the Arches, to see the Salt Lake, like it's a good trip. It's a good trip, especially if you're somebody who's a little bit more, I don't know if you want to say like psychic or in tune or whatever, and you can communicate with those, like the spirit of the lake and the spirit of the Arches, the spirit of the mountains and the trees and the forests and the deserts there, like just the spirits of the different, land over there is just absolutely incredible. So I think that that's something that's really super important. And it's something that I'm really looking forward to because I'm not from Oklahoma. I'm from like the East Coast. And I don't know, I never really felt at home with Oklahoma. I don't really feel at home with those land spirits. I don't really feel, communicable or whatever the word is. I don't feel at home there. So I really do want to travel around America to communicate with other land spirits and to see where would be a good home for me. I do eventually want to settle down. I don't know that I'll live in an RV for the rest of my life. I'm thinking at least 1 year, maybe 5 years. But I definitely want to find a place where I feel in good harmony with, the land and with the spirits who live there, because I think that that's very important, that you make a good relationship with wherever you live. You should communicate with the spirits. You should leave them offerings. You should have a good agreement and a good harmony. As you protect the land also protects you. I'm very, very convinced of that. So be on the lookout for that. If you are looking to connect more with your land spirits, leave offerings, leave tobacco, leave cornmeal, leave other plants, leave your old food. That's something that we do a lot of. At least in our house, we had this little corner and we just left all of our old food kind of back in the corner. And there's like a couple trees in the backyard and stuff like that. And that's a way to nourish your soil, So if you do any kind of gardening or you are touching the land, touching the soil, leaving compost, that kind of thing, that's really good. And it's a very good way to create harmony. So while I really love my house, or where I was living, what used to be my house, I really love that land. I just haven't really felt a good connection. So hopefully, like throughout these different travels, I'll be able to just communicate with different land spirits, feel different energies, and like find a good place to settle down. Ultimately, you guys, I've been talking about this probably since 2019, I guess. I really want to start an intentional community with a bunch of people who live together, work together, help each other. I just want to live with people who care about me, and I want to care about other people. And I feel like I have created a really wonderful community like online, and there's so much support. Like everybody looks out for each other online, but sometimes there's barriers to receiving physical support with online communities. Either people don't live in the same areas, or people don't have the gas money to show up at your house and help you, or that kind of thing, or people are just busy, with their own lives. And I strongly believe that if we had closer, tight-knit communities, that people wouldn't be so overwhelmed. And it would alleviate a lot of stress, especially for people who are older, especially for people who are disabled, especially for people who have children. These are really challenging things in life to deal with and to shoulder on your own. It's very difficult to raise kids. It's very difficult to be disabled. It's very difficult to be chronically ill. And it's very difficult to do that alone. So, as you guys know, like I don't really have a lot of family in Oklahoma. We've got Joe's dad, but my husband, by the way, is Joe. My husband's dad, he's a little bit older, and he's getting sick and that kind of thing. So I don't feel like it's kind or nice to like drop the kids off at his house, because he's like pushing like 80 or something. And I'm like, maybe I don't want to drop all 4 of my kids at your house and have them like terrorize everything. Although I will say I have to give a shout out to my father-in-law, because he did take the kids those last couple of days when we were moving everything out of the house. And oh my gosh, you have no idea. Maybe you do have an idea, but you have no idea how hard it is to remodel a house, remodel an RV, move everything out of a house when you have 4 kids running around and like taking everything out of the boxes that you're putting everything in boxes, and they're just like making a mess, tracking mud in. And by the way, you guys who are in Oklahoma, it did rain for like 3 weeks straight, and we were remodeling everything for 3 weeks straight while it was raining. So that was fun too. But anyways, big shout out to my father-in-law, because he was able to keep the kids. And I'll tell you what, they had like the time of their life. They were like hunting bugs and like trekking in all of my father-in-law's property. And they were looking at the different plants and things that he grows, different vegetables and things. And so they had a really good time hanging out with him and chilling with him. But I did feel a little bad or guilty about leaving all the kids with him, just because, like I said, he is older. And maybe that's like a problem that I have that I need to work through with myself. Like, not just asking for help, but accepting help when people offer. I feel like that's a big thing that I struggle with, because I consider myself like this really big, strong woman, whatever, and I'm going to get everything done myself. And while I know rationally, realistically, it's a good thing to ask for help and to lean on your community, sometimes it's hard for me to do that. And I am getting better. I am definitely getting better at that. But I don't know, is what it is. I'm a work in progress, same as everybody else. And then I did want to shout out to like everybody in the world who helped us. Darla came over and helped us. Featherstone Granite, they are friends of mine. If you guys need countertops put in, if you need help with tiling, that kind of thing, remodeling your kitchens, check out Featherstone Granite. They're in Oklahoma City. I believe they serve greater Oklahoma metro area. So, like Oklahoma, Yukon, Moore, Guthrie, Shawnee, Midwest City, Norman, all those kinds of areas. Check out Featherstone Granite. They are really great people. But they sent 2 of their guys over to my house to help me move stuff, because we were like really overwhelmed. My husband has a hernia and I am a noodle. I have a connective tissue disease and I can't really lift things because my joints come out of place. I'm a weirdo, people, but there's no way that I can move a lot of this heavy stuff myself. And I don't know that it would have been super safe to have my husband do it. And I was really stressing out about that. I was like stressing out, like, how are we going to get all this really heavy furniture like out of the house? And they were able to come and to help us and to move all this heavy stuff that there was no way we could get that stuff. So that was like a huge sweat off of our back, and it felt good to be able to ask for help and for people to actually respond to us. I know LaDonna took our kids a couple times. Molly took our kids. So many people took our kids and just like watched them and made sure that we had the time and the space to be able to work on our RV, because it is really difficult to remodel and really to do any kind of big projects like that if you have a bunch of kids. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. But anyways, I am having the time of my life. I am sitting in the trees. I am like putting my feet in the river. I'm doing a little bit of fishing. I am doing a little bit of writing, a little bit of painting, and I am really resting, recharging my soul. And I really feel like after the year I had last year, I need some rest and some recharge. So I am very grateful and thankful to have been able to take off an entire month of work, just to sit here with the trees, just to sit here with the river, just to sit here, hopefully with the hot springs next week. We'll see. And I really appreciate everybody who has been tuning in and who has been like, watching our journey and helping us. Just as a reminder, if you guys want to help support me while I'm on the road, you can sign up for my Patreon. I do daily messages, which means every single day I post messages about intention, about the energy of the day, and about like how to stay intentional, how to keep yourself in good harmony and good balance. And I also offer like super discounted services on my Patreon as well. If you don't want to make some sort of commitment like that monthly or yearly, I also do have services online that I can help you guys with while I'm mobile. So I do offer Reiki. I do offer different like chakra or energy alignments, and I can do readings as well. I like to do private readings, and you can get like a private 30-minute session with me, and we can just talk and look at different questions that you have. Or you can do a life path reading, which are those really super in-depth readings that I do sometimes. I know that I went live recently and did live life path readings, and I always have so much fun doing them because they provide so much insight into what's going on in your life and what's going on in your existence, and what you should do to move forward and again to stay in balance. So I appreciate you all. Please check out all my links and all that good stuff, and thanks so much for watching. I will be live on June 10th, which is tomorrow. It's going to be a solar eclipse, people. Solar eclipse, big energy. I don't know if you guys are feeling it right now. Like, please comment and tell me in the comments right now that you feel as wild as I do. I feel super energized. I feel like the world is my oyster. I feel like I have so many possibilities. And even though I've had a lot of instability and bumpiness in the past couple weeks, I still feel so good. So I'm looking forward to the solar eclipse. I'm looking forward to, I think there's a full moon tomorrow too or something. I don't know. It's wild, people. And we're still in Mercury retrograde. So tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Time, and I will go live and do Throat Punch Thursday readings. And make sure you check out my last Tricania video too. I always make those videos about the calendar, about the changing energy of the days and of the months. And I make those every 13 days. I just posted one 2 days ago. So if you're interested in keeping up with the energy, or if you want to know what it's like to get daily messages on Patreon from me, check out that video that I did on YouTube, and look for that changing Tricania and that changing energy. And that's what it looks like, guys. I do those messages every single day for people on Patreon. Really, I do them for myself, but if you guys sign up for my Patreon, you can get the messages too. But anyways, I love you all so much. I appreciate you for watching. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Bye, friends.